Beauty gets attention. Mystery holds it. This is something many women misunderstand. Not because they lack beauty, but because they were taught that beauty is the currency that keeps a man interested. It isn't. Beauty may open the door, but mystery is what makes a man stay in the room. And the reason mystery is more powerful than beauty has nothing to do with hiding, pretending, or playing games. It has everything to do with how the male mind responds to depth, uncertainty, and emotional space. Let me explain. 1. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because men are not bonded by what they see. They are bonded by what they discover. Beauty is immediate. A man sees it, registers it, appreciates it. But the moment beauty is fully visible and fully accessible, it becomes familiar. And familiarity, without depth, fades into the background. Mystery works differently. Mystery keeps a man mentally engaged. It invites curiosity. It creates questions instead of answers. And the male mind is wired to move toward what it cannot fully grasp yet. This is why two women can be equally beautiful, yet only one leaves a lasting impression. The difference is not her face or her body, it's her presence. A mysterious woman doesn't reveal everything at once. Not emotionally, not energetically, not psychologically. She allows layers to unfold naturally. And because of that, a man feels like he is discovering her rather than consuming her. From a man's perspective, this creates something rare, mental attraction. And mental attraction lasts longer than physical attraction. Beauty excites the senses. Mystery occupies the mind. When a woman gives everything away early, her thoughts, her emotions, her intentions, her availability, there is nothing left for the man to lean into. He knows where he stands immediately. There is no tension, no curiosity, no movement. And without movement, desire stagnates. This is where many women unintentionally weaken their own power. They think transparency will create security. They think emotional openness will accelerate intimacy. But when everything is visible too soon, the connection becomes flat. Mystery is not secrecy, it is restraint. It's knowing that depth does not need to be explained. It needs to be experienced. A mysterious woman doesn't rush to define herself. She doesn't narrate her value. She doesn't over-explain her emotions. She allows a man to observe her consistency, her boundaries, her calmness, her self-respect. And the more he observes, the more he becomes invested. Because what a man invests attention into, he bonds with. This is why mystery outlasts beauty. Beauty can be admired from a distance. Mystery pulls a man closer, not because he lacks clarity, but because he wants more. And wanting more is the beginning of attachment. 2. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because it creates emotional space. And emotional space is where desire grows. Beauty fills the room instantly. It's obvious. It's visible. It doesn't ask the mind to work. Mystery, on the other hand, leaves room. And room is what allows a man to project, imagine, and emotionally engage. Men don't fall deeply for what is fully explained. They fall for what unfolds. When a woman leaves emotional space, she allows a man to move toward her at his own pace. He wonders what she thinks, how she feels, what she values, and that wondering keeps him engaged long after the initial attraction. This is where many women misunderstand attraction. They believe clarity creates safety, and safety creates commitment. But early clarity often removes tension before attachment has formed. And tension in healthy amounts is not danger. It's chemistry. A mysterious woman does not rush emotional certainty. She doesn't define the relationship prematurely. She doesn't emotionally anchor herself before he has chosen to step forward. And because of that, the emotional field between them stays alive. From a man's perspective, this feels stimulating. not confusing. Confusion comes from inconsistency. Mystery comes from depth. A woman who is grounded, consistent, and emotionally self-contained creates intrigue without manipulation. She doesn't disappear to provoke. She simply doesn't overexpose herself. And that restraint communicates something powerful. I am not trying to convince you. I am allowing you to discover me. That allowance invites effort. Men lean into spaces they are invited to explore. When everything is already laid out, feelings, expectations, future talk, there is no exploration left. Mystery also protects you. When you don't over-reveal early, you stay emotionally balanced. You don't attach too quickly. You don't collapse your identity into the connection. You remain whole, and wholeness is magnetic. A man doesn't feel responsible for regulating you. He feels curious about you. That shift changes everything. Beauty may spark interest, but mystery sustains it because it allows attraction to breathe. It gives the connection a rhythm instead of a rush. And rhythm is what keeps desire alive over time. When you understand this, you stop performing. You stop proving. You stop overgiving. You simply are. And a woman who is fully herself, without rushing to be understood, becomes unforgettable. 3. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because it makes a man invest mentally. And mental investment creates emotional attachment. Beauty is passive. A man looks, appreciates, enjoys. Mystery is active. It pulls him into thought. It occupies his mind when you're not there. And what occupies a man's mind begins to occupy his emotions. This is a crucial difference. A beautiful woman can be admired without effort. A mysterious woman requires engagement. When a woman doesn't explain herself too quickly, when she doesn't narrate her feelings or intentions in advance, a man begins to think. He wonders how she sees the world, what she values, what makes her pull closer or step back. And that wondering creates investment. Men bond through investment, not through information. This is why over-explaining weakens attraction. When you clarify everything immediately, your intentions, your emotions, your future hopes, you remove the man's opportunity to lean in mentally. There is nothing left for him to figure out. Mystery doesn't mean silence, it means selectivity. A mysterious woman speaks, but she doesn't overfill space. She responds, but she doesn't chase understanding. She expresses, but she doesn't unload everything at once. And because of that, a man feels invited to participate rather than observe. From his perspective, this feels engaging. He's not being handed a story, he's part of discovering it. And discovery activates attachment in a way beauty alone never can. This is also why mystery protects a woman's power. When you don't rush to be fully known, you stay centered. You don't adjust yourself to be liked. You don't reveal everything to secure interest. You allow interest to grow naturally, and as interest grows, respect follows. A man respects what he has to work to understand. Not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, internal one. He values the depth because he didn't receive it for free. This is where many women confuse mystery with withholding. Withholding is defensive. Mystery is confident. Withholding comes from fear of rejection. Mystery comes from self-trust. A woman who trusts herself doesn't need to rush intimacy. She knows that the right man will move closer over time, not because she dazzled him, but because she engaged him. Beauty might make a man look twice. Mystery makes him stay curious. And curiosity is the bridge between attraction and attachment. 4. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because it preserves polarity. And polarity is what keeps attraction alive. Polarity exists when there is space between two people. Not emotional distance, but energetic distinction. When one person rushes closeness and the other retreats, polarity collapses. When both remain grounded in themselves, polarity strengthens. Beauty alone does not create polarity. In fact, beauty can sometimes erase it. When a woman relies primarily on beauty, the dynamic can become one-sided. He looks, she is looked at. He consumes, she is consumed. And consumption does not create tension, it ends it. Mystery changes the dynamic entirely. A mysterious woman is not trying to be consumed. She is experienced, slowly, over time. And that creates polarity because she remains a subject, not an object. From a man's perspective, this feels different. He doesn't feel like he has figured her out. He doesn't feel like he owns the dynamic. He feels like there is something alive between them. That aliveness is polarity. This is why men often lose interest in dynamics where everything becomes predictable too quickly. Predictability removes tension, and tension, in healthy form, is what fuels desire. A mysterious woman doesn't rush to align emotionally before alignment is earned. She allows contrast to exist. She allows him to step forward while she remains rooted in herself. And that rooting is crucial. When a woman is fully grounded, she doesn't chase closeness. She doesn't collapse into availability. She allows connection to form between two strong centers. That space is where attraction thrives. Beauty can be admired from afar. Mystery invites engagement without surrender. And engagement is what deepens connection. This is also why mystery does not disappear over time. Beauty fades or becomes familiar. Mystery evolves. It reveals new layers, new depths, new dimensions. A woman who maintains her individuality, her rhythm, her inner life remains intriguing. Not because she hides, but because she continues to grow. Men are drawn to women who are not static. And mystery signals movement. It says, there is more here, and it unfolds slowly. That is far more powerful than being visually perfect. Because attraction doesn't survive on perfection. It survives on polarity. 5. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because it protects your emotional value instead of exposing it too early. Beauty is visible. It's easy to access. It's immediately judged. And because of that, beauty is often consumed rather than appreciated. A man can notice beauty without effort, without intention, without investment. Mystery changes the way a man relates to you. When a woman doesn't reveal her entire emotional world at once, she signals something important. My inner life is valuable. Not because she hides it, but because she doesn't give it away without discernment. This creates respect. Men instinctively respect what is not immediately available. Not in a manipulative way, but in a psychological one. What is earned is valued differently than what is handed over. When a woman leads with beauty alone, the man's attention stays external. He enjoys what he sees. When a woman leads with mystery, his attention turns inward. He begins to wonder. And wondering is where attachment begins. This is where many women unintentionally lose power. They share their emotions, their intentions, their future hopes early because they want to be honest. But honesty without timing can turn depth into vulnerability too soon. And vulnerability without safety feels risky, even to the person receiving it. A mysterious woman understands timing. She doesn't rush emotional intimacy to secure interest. She allows interest to mature into trust before she opens deeper layers. And because of that, when she does open, it lands with impact. Men feel the difference. They don't feel overwhelmed. They don't feel burdened. They feel chosen. Mystery also protects you. When you don't give everything away early, you don't attach prematurely. You don't build fantasies faster than reality. You don't hand your emotional safety to someone who hasn't proven consistency. You stay grounded. And grounded women don't lose themselves in attraction. They allow attraction to meet them. This is not about being distant or cold. It's about being selective with access, about knowing that your emotional world is not something to be downloaded. It's something to be discovered. Beauty may draw a man's eyes. Mystery draws his respect. And respect is what keeps attraction alive when beauty alone no longer carries the dynamic. A woman who understands this doesn't worry about being enough. She knows that depth reveals itself to the right person at the right pace, and that is where lasting connection begins. 6. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because it keeps a woman out of emotional overexposure. And emotional overexposure weakens attraction faster than anything else. Many women believe that being fully open early is a sign of confidence. They share their thoughts, explain their feelings, clarify their intentions, and emotionally lay everything on the table. They think this creates closeness, but closeness that arrives before emotional readiness feels heavy, not intimate. From a man's perspective, emotional overexposure removes the sense of progression. He feels like he's been fast-forwarded into significance without earning it. And when significance arrives too quickly, it creates pressure rather than desire. Mystery prevents that. A mysterious woman doesn't emotionally flood a connection. She doesn't unload her inner world before the foundation is built. She allows emotional depth to emerge through shared moments, not emotional declarations. This matters because men connect through experience more than explanation. A man doesn't bond because you told him how you feel. He bonds because of how he feels around you. When you explain too much too soon, you replace experience with information. And information does not create attachment. It creates familiarity. Familiarity without investment leads to disengagement. Mystery keeps emotional pacing intact. It allows attraction to grow through interaction, not confession, through presence, not performance. And here's the part many women don't realize. Mystery is not silence, it's containment. A mysterious woman feels deeply, but she doesn't pour those feelings outward immediately. She stays connected to herself. She lets emotions settle before expressing them. And because of that, when she speaks, her words carry weight. Men feel that weight. They don't feel emotionally overwhelmed. They feel emotionally intrigued. Mystery also keeps you in your body instead of your head. When you're not rushing to explain yourself, you're more present. You're more relaxed. You're more grounded. And grounded women are naturally attractive because they don't need to be understood immediately to feel secure. They trust time. Beauty may draw attention quickly. Mystery keeps connection unfolding. And unfolding is where desire stays alive. A woman who understands this doesn't worry about being transparent enough. She knows that transparency is powerful when the container is ready. Mystery protects that container. 7. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because it keeps a woman connected to herself instead of performing for attention. Beauty often invites performance. A woman starts adjusting how she looks, how she speaks, how she responds to maintain interest. She becomes aware of being watched, and slowly, her focus shifts from being to being perceived. Mystery interrupts that. A mysterious woman is not trying to hold attention. She is holding herself. She is present in her body, her thoughts, her life. She doesn't monitor how she's coming across. She doesn't rush to impress. And because of that, her presence feels natural instead of curated. From a man's perspective, this is deeply attractive. He doesn't feel like he's watching a performance. He feels like he's encountering a real person. Men may admire beauty, but they connect with authenticity. And authenticity appears when a woman is not trying to be consumed or validated. Mystery allows a woman to remain sovereign. She doesn't hand her energy over immediately. She doesn't seek confirmation of interest to feel grounded. She allows connection to develop without losing her center. And when a woman stays centered, she doesn't become anxious. She doesn't overgive. She doesn't chase. Her calm becomes magnetic. Beauty can create desire, but mystery creates presence. And presence is what allows a man to feel something deeper than attraction, resonance. 8. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because it reveals character over time. And character is what sustains attraction. Beauty is immediate. Character is gradual. When attraction is based mainly on beauty, a man doesn't need time to decide. He reacts, but reaction fades. When attraction is layered with mystery, time becomes part of the bond. A mysterious woman doesn't rush to be known. She allows consistency, values, boundaries, and emotional maturity to show themselves slowly. And as those layers emerge, a man begins to feel trust. Trust deepens attraction far more than appearance ever could. Men don't commit to beauty. They commit to how they feel in a woman's presence over time. Mystery gives that feeling room to develop. It allows a man to witness you, not just see you. And witnessing builds attachment because it involves attention, patience, and emotional engagement. This is why mystery doesn't disappear in long-term connection. It evolves. As long as a woman continues growing, reflecting, and living fully, there is always more to discover. Beauty stays static. Mystery stays alive. 9. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because it allows desire to move toward you instead of you moving toward desire. When a woman relies on beauty, she often feels she must maintain attraction actively. She worries about losing interest. She adjusts. She reassures. She over-communicates. Mystery removes that pressure. A mysterious woman does not chase desire. She allows desire to approach her. She doesn't force closeness. She doesn't pull meaning out of every interaction. She lets interest show itself through effort. And effort is the language of desire. When a man invests time, thought, and presence, his attachment deepens. Mystery invites that investment by leaving space. This is not about being distant. It's about being anchored. A woman who trusts attraction to unfold doesn't rush it. She doesn't fear silence. She doesn't collapse into availability. And because of that, men feel safe leaning in. Desire grows where there is room to choose. Mystery creates that room. Part 10. Mystery is more powerful than beauty because it aligns a woman with her own value instead of her appearance. Beauty fades, it changes, it depends on external factors. Mystery is internal. It comes from self-trust, self-respect, and emotional containment. A woman who understands mystery doesn't fear aging, comparison, or competition. She knows that what holds a man's attention long-term is not perfection, it's depth. Depth is felt, not seen. When you stop trying to be everything at once, you allow yourself to be experienced. And being experienced is far more powerful than being admired. Mystery is not about hiding who you are. It's about allowing who you are to unfold naturally. And that unfolding is what creates attachment that lasts. Beauty may turn heads, but mystery turns hearts. A man may notice beauty in a moment, but he remembers mystery over time. Because mystery makes him feel something. Curiosity, engagement, presence, desire. You don't become mysterious by pretending. You become mysterious by being rooted in yourself, by not rushing intimacy, by not over-explaining, by not giving your depth to those who haven't earned access. When you trust time, rhythm, and your own value, mystery becomes natural. And a woman who is naturally mysterious doesn't need to compete, perform, or chase. She is discovered. And what is discovered with intention is rarely forgotten.